Hello, Stingness here again with another champion guide. Today we will be going over a full AP Twisted Fate guide. Although he may be a little intimidating to learn for new players, unlocking his true potential will give you massive map control, high gank potential, and a 2-second stun that's on a 4-second cooldown, which is the lowest cooldown for any CC in the game. So let's jump right in and go over his abilities. Twisted Fate's passive is called Loaded Dice. It grants 2 extra gold per minion kill. Although it doesn't seem like a lot, in an average game it adds up to about 1,000 extra gold for your team, which gives your team the extra push to afford wards or oracles. Twisted Fate's Q ability is Wildcard. It's a long-range nuke. This ability is your main source of damage output. It lets you deal damage without actually putting yourself in danger of your enemies. Twisted Fate's W ability is a Pick card. This ability is how you're going to be judged as a player. What this ability does is give your next auto attack an on-hit effect, depending on what card you lock in. Blue card is your mana regen card. It restores mana equal to the damage it deals. It should be noted that blue card's base damage is lower than the mana cost of Pick cards, so don't plan on getting mana back without any AP. Red card is your slow AoE attack. Use it for a ball of enemies chasing an ally, or for quick farming. It should also be noted that this card tends to bug out, dealing no damage and applying no on-hit effects. If you're chasing, try to avoid pulling this card due to this bug. Gold card is your bread and butter. It is a single target stun which lasts for 1 to 2 seconds depending on its level. This card really should be the only card you're pulling during a team fight, stunning any threats on your enemy team. Keep in mind, picking the wrong card once as Twisted Fate can spiral your game from a win to a loss. Twisted Fate's E ability is Stag Deck. It gives you some attack speed, and every 4th attack deals some magic damage. Never recall or leave your lane without 3 stacks on your Stag Deck. The damage from this spell will save your life or an ally's life. Twisted Fate Ultimate is probably one of the best ultimates in the game. The first activated reveals all enemy champions, and if activated again within a few seconds, it will let you teleport anywhere you want on the map, which leads to great ganks and great map control. So let's go over our pre-game setup. Your masters are going to be a standard 9-0-21 caster build. Make sure you get utility mastery. As for your runes, I use spell penetration reds, mana regen yellows and blues, and flat health coins. Since TF's early game is not the strongest, I don't run per level runes to give me an easy ride to level 6. As for summoners, flash is mandatory. When you lock in a gold card, people realize pretty quickly not to stand near you. So if you want to kill during your landing phase, you're going to need this. As for your second summoner, the best choice is Ignite. It gives you that little damage push in the early game to get first blood, and during the later phases, it'll stop mass heal teams. Do not get teleport and do not get revive. So let's get into the game. Twisted Fate is probably one of the best solo lanes in the game. Not because of his high damage output, but simply because the second he turns 6, his ultimate almost guarantees a kill with a little communication. So start off by buying a Sapphire Crystal, 1 health potion and 1 mana potion. During your landing phase, you're going to be a little weak until level 3. Go ahead and pick a card as your first ability and use it defensively. Pretty much any time they try to harass you, just smack them with a pick a card. At level 2, grab Wild Card, but try to avoid throwing any till level 3. Rank 1 wild cards deal less damage than their mana cost. It's practically pointless to throw any before rank 2. Well, unless you enjoy having no mana. Problem harassing and pushing the enemy off EXP with your long range on Wild Card and the stun from your Gold Card. At level 4, you're going to grab Stack Deck. Once you get your opponent to 300 HP, it's time to get First Blood. Get your Stack Deck up to 3 stacks, and go ahead and lock in a Gold Card. Flash to your opponent, toss your Gold Card, throw your Wild Card, and ignite them. It should get you your first kill, and most likely First Blood. Once you hit level 6, you're going to want to head back to your fountain. Of course, making sure you have 3 stacks of your Stack Deck. Go ahead and pick up a Sheen and your boots. If you can't afford boots, that's fine, just get your Sheen. If you can't afford Sheen, focus more on farming during your laning phase. It is unacceptable to not be able to pick up your Sheen. At this point in the game is when you're going to be showing your true dominance over the other team. By locking in a gold card and using your ultimate to gank any overextended lane. It should be your second kill of the game, assuming you inform your partners you are coming. A little trick when ganking, you can teleport inside of walls, your opponent won't even see you coming. Gate behind your opponent and prioritize your positioning for your second gold card over auto attack. If there is no one to gank, don't be afraid to use your ultimate to get back to your lane. Doing this will actually give you more farm than your opponent and less downtime, causing you to outlevel them quite easily. Please remember, you're using the fountain as a source of mana regen. So every time your ultimate is off cooldown, you should be back at the fountain refilling your mana. Towards the mid game, you're going to want to be making sure all your lanes are always pushing. If a team fight breaks out, go ahead and use your ultimate to join the fight. Keeping your eye on the minimap is one of the most important things in Twisted Fate. Missing out on a kill because you weren't paying attention to your bottom lane or letting an ally die because you thought your minions needed company is unacceptable. Pay attention to your team. It's important. Wards are another important aspect of this game. Every time you go back to the fountain, which should be every time your ultimate's off cooldown, you should buy at least one ward. A good location for a ward is pretty much in any bush, dragon, or baron. At this point in the game, you should have a Lichbane Magi Soul Stealer and either Sork Shoes or Merc Treads, depending on the amount of CC your opponent has. Your next item at this point really depends on what's happening in the game. If your opponent is building a lot of magic resistance, you're going to want to pick up your Void Staff. If you're having problems being focused, this means you're a threat to your opponent, which is good, so go ahead and pick up a Banshee's Veil to help you stay alive. If neither of these are the case, grab your Rabadon's Death Cap for the extra AP. Those 3 items are your last 3 items. Get them in the order you see fit. If you're getting shut down, don't be afraid to just push lanes and clear creeps, constantly warding the chokes in the jungle, and use your ultimate to teleport to a different lane when a gank comes. You'll quickly catch back up. Pick a card. The cards is blue, red, gold, blue, red, gold. Of course, it doesn't always start on blue. Switch, 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 switch. That's enough of that. Let's go over some tips and tricks. As Destiny is an escape mechanism. If you find yourself getting ganked, pull a gold card, hit Destiny, stun your opponent, and teleport out to safety. The number of times this has saved my life is literally uncountable. The second thing you need to be sure of, every time an enemy champion is on screen, you should have a gold card locked in. Don't pull the wrong card. Stun the enemy threats in teamfights. This includes a Powerball in Rammus, a Warwick ulting an ally, a new ultimating. You know, those kinds of things. Wildcards are the carries in the back of the enemy team. Don't really focus on kills until people start getting low. Just keep your team alive. Third, people underestimate the card master's ability to push lanes. If you keep all lanes pushing, your enemy team will soon realize even if they win a teamfight, they can't push a lane without losing their entire base to minions. This is a key aspect of playing Twisted Fate, lead to easy wins, and of course getting called a backdoor and fag, which is always great. Remember, in an actual teamfight, your worth is going to be near the number of gold cards you pulled during that teamfight. If you follow this guide, you should find yourself carrying your team, destroying your opponents with full control of the map and the enemy team. If you liked this guide and would like to see more champion guides, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and leave a comment telling me what you would like to see. Good luck, have fun, and remember, don't build him AD because it's simply garbage.